I did food mapping my children. If I did this just so my kids wouldn't have to deal with any of this and to be who they are now, would it have been worth it? And the answer is hell yes, a million times. A million times.
I'm interested to hear because those were your results. That's what you learned through food mapping was that
Yeah.
you had this genetic sensitivity.
Yeah.
So then I'm assuming you tested your children and you made some changes in their diets as well. And I'm wondering, did you see an impact?
Once you discover accurate testing of your results, understand your kids are going to share 50% of that sensitivity. So it really opens up a whole world of the influence that you can have, the impact you have, not only on your own autoimmunity, but on your children's. Think about this, guys. How many of you guys have kids? Okay, so autoimmune parents have autoimmune kids, and we miss the signs of autoimmunity in our children all the time. When we look at autoimmune signs in my children, you were looking at a child that had autism spectrum, right? Also diagnosed, possible likely ADD at that time. I had my daughter who had severe allergies and eczema to the point where her skin was splitting. She had skin splitting and bleeding on her arms. Her face had patches of white and dry. I mean, watching a little kid, infant, until she was like 5 years old, struggle with this level of eczema and allergies was heartbreaking.
I can
Um,
personally relate because my son is 3, and up until like last month, we had him sleeping in a wetsuit because his eczema is so bad, and he has severe food allergies, anaphylactic allergies to nuts and flaxseed. So I can completely relate, and all of the parents out there that deal with this with their children, now it might be a light bulb moment for some people saying, okay, this is all connected to autoimmunity.
I just met with Susan here, and Susan is someone who just recently graduated from our program, but she's typical of somebody in our program where they discovered data that had immediate impact that said, "Oh my God, hot damn, this is real." I mean, I'd love to bring Susan on. Hey, Susan.
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Dr. Maggie.
Susan, I recall a conversation with you where you felt a lot of guilt about the fact that we're transferring genetics to our children.
Yes, and I just did my kids' food mapping. I got to deal with that, but I'm looking at it in a different way after
Yep.
talking to you.
Tell me.
The thing that got me to do your program
Yeah.
was not necessarily to benefit me. It's the passing it on. It's the dinosaur or Godzilla and the egg.
Would you
That
want to
was
kill Godzilla while he's an egg in your children?
that was what got me in the program. So I just sent in
Mm.
my son's food mapping and I've had a massive amount of guilt. But after talking with you, I think that I'm finding it so empowering for me
Yeah.
because I feel like things are less limiting. And so I'll get the results in 10 days. That my hope is that's what's going to happen for my son.
And wait a minute, based on the interview we did last week, are you going to be an example? Remember, the two most important ways you influence your children is as an example or as a warning. What are you becoming now?
I don't
An
want to
ex-
be a warning. I want to be an example.
you are an example.
Yes.
But here's the other thing, and I said this last week about my mother. Our mothers or us being sick and learning this ourselves, we took one for the team for our children.
I got cancer, right? I took a big one for the team, and I don't want that for my kid. This is why I'm willing to go to extreme lengths to make sure that he gets all the right information. And I need you training somebody else because I want him having somebody in 20 years if he needs somebody in 20 years. So, Dr. Maggie, I need you to like start a school.
And that's what I did with this program. And I know you got to go. You got to put your kid to bed. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us, Susan. That's really
Yes.
awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I was talking about the impact on her children, Dr. Maggie, and we didn't get to fully talk about you were mentioning there was autism, there was possibly ADD, and there was
Yeah.
eczema. Did you notice a change in your own children?
I did, and that's the thing you have to understand is my son was in special ed, separated, and, like, it was really hard, like, talk about feeling like a failure as a mother. When us autoimmune moms have kids that have special needs, we feel like somehow we're responsible, either genetically or we did something wrong. And so that was heartbreaking, and interestingly, I did food mapping my children. I also did food mapping on my niece, on my nephew who had life-threatening food allergies, I mean, the impact is huge. My daughter no longer has allergies and eczema. She's doing wonderful, studying chemical engineering at Cal Poly. My son now, I mean, we're talking, he was diagnosed of having Asperger's. He was on drugs for ADD, on medications for ADD. I mean, he currently is going to USC studying in master's in accounting.
Good job, mom. That's pretty incredible.
Right? I mean, this isn't inevitable. This is absolutely changeable. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to join this program for me. I'm not worth it, or I'm struggling with the financials, all this stuff." I understand. But at the same time, if I did this just to so my kids wouldn't have to deal with any of this and to be who they are now, would it have been worth it? And the answer is hell yes, a million times. A million times.
I mean, everybody feels that way. Even if you won't do it for yourself, think about the impact that will have on those coming after you.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you want some help with your autoimmunity, comment below and check your message requests. Maybe a couple hours from now, I bet you someone from our team have reached out to you. We're going to provide the link here. Start a chat with our team and tell us what's going on with your autoimmunity. We have tons of case studies and trainings we could share with you. It just takes you reaching out. So do that.